Good to be live, though. It's good to be here. Definitely good to be here. What are we thinking about Chelsea's chances here against Nottingham Forest? It's an interesting lineup, honestly, because you have Caicedo and Enzo out, and I don't wanna say I'm worried. I trust this Chelsea team against an Ange squad at Forest that hasn't done much, but it's a big match, I think. I think both teams are really looking for a win here, and we'll see. We'll see. It's another match where Gusto and James are starting too, which I find interesting. I didn't know for sure if James would start. He missed his England time, but we know that was really just because he had a little bit of a knock, but now he gets to start with Gusto. Saw that against Liverpool. And in that one, Gusto was playing midfield, and I thought he did pretty well. Is that gonna be the case today? That'll be interesting to see. Zero talks. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Definitely slap the likes and subscribe. And appreciate you always having Danny on your channel on a weekly basis. Really appreciate you for that. Adam, what up? Big ups to you as well. Big ups to anybody watching. Gonna be a great match. I hope you guys are watching. If you're watching me, watching the Chelsea match. Gonna be a great match, honestly. I'm just glad Premier League football is back at this point after the international break. These breaks, I said it in our most recent episode. It was a refreshing break for me as a local Milwaukee Brewer fan, but I'm glad Chelsea's back. Glad Chelsea's back. More buying reps, yeah. You know, this is Chelsea stream right now, but tell you what, Bayern Munich, what a team. What a team they are right now. So appreciate you, your talks. And for those of you that are Bayern fans, maybe watching this, they play Dortmund later today. Their classic there. Gonna be a huge match for them. And Danny and I here at Always Bayern Chelsea will, of course, have everything on each match. So gonna be massive. Gonna be a massive weekend for us here for Bayern and Chelsea. Appreciate the vote of good luck there. Yeah, huge match for Bayern, as we just said, against Dortmund. I actually got some money on Bayern today, so I'm gonna need them to win. Did a little parlay. Already won my first leg and need Bayern to win the second leg for me, but yeah, we support each other. I consider myself a Bayern fan at this point. Danny would consider himself a Chelsea fan. We're best friends that support each other, so, um, it's great to be able to watch 2 different teams in different leagues, Bundesliga, Premier League. It's just a lot of fun, you know? Watch more football, get yourself into the sport, and it's awesome. So, I'm glad to support Bayern because they're a wagon. They are a wagon, that's for sure. They are a wagon. Trying to figure out my thing here. It looks like I go away when I do that, so hmm, don't think I'll be able to show the score, but that's fine. That's fine, we know we're streaming Chelsea Forest. Match about to start here. Man, I always get these big nerves when I'm watching these matches, though. Well, let's see. Chelsea versus Forest, man. This is awesome. Awesome to be back in the Premier League here. And let's just hope for a Chelsea win. We're about to kick off here. Gonna be a great match. The match kicked off. The match is kicked off, folks. I don't know if anybody else has this vibe when they're watching matches, but I always prefer watching Chelsea go from right to left. It's just a visual thing for me. I don't know why. It's just my thing. But yeah, let's label this lineup because this match is and that's a turnover from Gusto right to Forest. Thankfully, they really can't get a shot off, and it's way wide. There's something about to start the lineup and talk about how Gusto can be decent today. He has just a terrible turnover trying to pass the James. I'm not sure what he was doing there, but uh, yeah. So looks like we got Patrick Long and Chalaba set up as center backs. You got Cucurella left back. Then you got Reece James playing a right center back. Gusto is tucking in the midfield as he did against Liverpool. No huge surprise there. But you got João Pedro up top, Neto right wing, Garnacho left wing. Yeah, Gusto's pushing up pretty high right now in that midfield. You do have Santos and Lavia in the midfield as well. So as I keep saying here, very interesting midfield. Very interesting team selection. Santos right now pushing up pretty high. He's kind of, playing that cam role, attacking midfield, number 10 role, as you'd say. Don't mind that, to be honest. We've seen Santos in his career. Strasbourg last year, he had a lot of goals. I want to say he almost had the most goals for Strasbourg. So he can really be a box-to-box midfield type guy. Wouldn't be surprised if he got his first Chelsea goal, honestly, today. Saw somebody tweet too. Little revenge game for Santos, which I thought was funny. He was loaned at Forest last year and basically got no time, which was absolutely ridiculous. Oh, nice defending there by Josh, getting back. Awani, I honestly thought he was out today for Forest, so that's on me. You saw my preview that I posted. Thought he was out, but it's gonna be great to see Josh Pong if he can play well today again. Saw him play super well against Palace, man of the match. Played well last week against Liverpool. Just a guy that honestly, center back's not even like his key position. I feel like he was more of a right back coming up, but the fact that he's been able to play center back pretty well has been awesome. Yeah, and James as right center back here is almost a little bit of a deeper midfield role too. So watching him and Gusto will be interesting to see. A good dribbling by Neto. Oh, man, I thought that was gonna be a goal. You had Santos that found the ball in the box, Gusto had crossed it, deflected. Is that a goal kick? Did Santos just sky that? Oh, no, Santos didn't get a shot off. It was deflected off Santos from the defender. Really nice dribbling from Neto, though. I mean, that's some good play by Chelsea there. That's gonna be their plan, I feel like. When you have Gusto and James on that right side, then you're gonna try to get the ball to Neto on the wing, and usually he's the type of guy who crosses it in, but I like the fact that Neto's doing some dribbling there, trying to get into the box. We don't normally see that from him. Good ball forward there. João Pedro's so okay. I mean, look at the shirt there. I'm surprised you don't give a yellow for that. That's great play from João Pedro. I mean, you're stopping a guy going forward. Not gonna give a yellow, though? I guess. Free kick now. Giving it wide to James. He's gonna whip a cross in, back to Neto. Good deep cross. Garnacho tries to then cross it with, like, an overhead kick. I mean, that's just not a foul, ref. You had Santos and Cucurella on Awani there. That's not a foul in my opinion. That's not a foul, I'm sorry. Like, he's a huge dude. Cucurella can't just easily get him down like that. Good tackle, Josh. Good tackle. Man, Josh is a fun player to watch dribble the ball too. How many center backs do you see that are able to dribble the ball as well as Josh can? Good ball from Reese there. Gusto loses it, but yeah, so Gusto's tracking pretty far forward here, as I was saying in the beginning, which I don't mind. You know, I think Gusto's a good runner. He's a great wing back. And now we're just not calling fouls as Lavia gets tanked. Luckily, the ball gets back to Chelsea. Interesting setup so far. I feel like Chelsea are controlling the match thus far, which is nice to see because at times they can be shaky when these matches start. So that's good to see. I'm happy to see that. I just wanna win. Any way you can win, honestly, because the lineup we know isn't super strong. Good tackle there by James to get the ball back forward to Neto. That's what James does. That is what James does, the captain of this squad. Such a player. And yes, I do trust Lavia in midfield. Okay, good little ball there from Cucurella trying to find Garnacho. If those guys can form a connection, that would be great to see. I'm certainly not gonna complain about a Cucurella Garnacho connection. That'd be a lot of fun. I did make a bet today that Chelsea would win and Cucurella would score. Plus 1,400, $10 to win 140. Oh my gosh, Chalobah, what is that pass? Thank God. What is that pass from Chalobah? You easily coulda gone back to Robert Sanchez. He passed it right to Forrest instead. I mean, that's gotta be one of the worst passes I've seen. Thankfully, Josh gets back and is able to well, he slid, and then Anderson kinda lost his balance, not even close to a pen. Wouldn't call it a dive either. I think he truthfully did slip. What a ball from Reese. Garnacho can't get it though. Man, if you're Chalobah in that situation, just pass it back to Robert Sanchez. Like, you don't have to panic and try something too complex there. I don't get what he was doing there. It makes no sense to me. Part of your plan is that you have the keeper there that you can pass back to consistently. Like, just and now we're passing back to as I say that, Sanchez has to reach for a pass. A good ball then to João Pedro deep. Oh, he couldn't find Garnacho. That's a shame. That's a shame. That was some good hold-up play there from João Pedro, but then he just couldn't find Garnacho. Kind of a sloppy start from both teams, if I'm gonna be honest here. Kinda losing the ball, making sloppy challenges, grabbing each other a lot. Oh, man, we're seeing Reese get into some good space too. I tell you what, you put Reese in some good positions where he can shoot or dish the ball around, that's gonna be fun to see. As Chelsea are kinda controlling the ball right now. Some possession here. Neto again with some nice dribbles. And Gusto just gets bodied. Come on, Gusto. Like, you gotta be physical in the Premier League. That possession, though, even though they have it, no chance created out of it thus far for Chelsea. And we'll see what Ange is looking to do here because they have not had possession really for any of this match in a consistent manner so far. They're looking to work the possession right now, and this will be kind of their first time with the ball for more of a consistent period. I gotta turn my air off. It's just way too loud. Like I said, you got Forest with more of the ball here in a consistent manner. We'll see if they can do something with it. But now Chelsea got it back. So if you're watching right now and you want to comment, like, subscribe, feel free to do so. I'd really appreciate it. Danny and I are just on the grind. Danny's away at a wedding this weekend, but huge match for Bayern coming up today against Dortmund. Der Klassiker. Gonna be a good one. A good through ball there from Forrest. Thankfully, Chalobah ultimately there to flag. What are we thinking about this midfield so far for Chelsea? If you're watching the stream right now, feel free to comment your thoughts on the midfield. Santos pushing up very high as João Pedro right now. Then you got Gusto and Lavia as well that have been hanging out in the midfield. Yeah, Santos is very high, which isn't surprising. He's playing the Enzo role. Jack, I appreciate you commenting. Yeah, I got the volume loosely on. It doesn't cut into my stream, but you can definitely hear fans. I was wondering what fans those were. Appreciate you for letting me know those are the Chelsea away fans. Love to see that. From what I've always heard, dude, Chelsea away fans just do such a great job, which is awesome. You love to see that. And I'm chuckling because 'cause they're showing Marinakis, I think his name is, the owner of Nottingham Forest, the guy. He's, uh he's an interesting one for Nottingham Forest. I feel for some of their fans there. I feel like he puts them on quite the roller coaster. He's had a great year last year, and now they've started in 17th, which has gotta be so disappointing for them. It's gotta be so disappointing after the year they had last year. But is this the match Maresca wants right now? I don't know. If it was Danny, he'd probably say, "Yeah, you want this boring match." Possession that they've controlled for the most part. Lavia's been doing some work in midfield, though. Seems like he's been getting beat up so far. He's probably kinda being the Caicedo today, which I think he can do, he does some different things than Caicedo, but he's still a great midfielder. I think Lavia, if he can somehow stay healthy for a long stretch, can be one of the best midfielders in the league, and I'm not saying that lightly. I truly believe that. I think his ball carrying is unreal. I think he's got great passing, puts himself in good positions. Pedro's just dropping so deep at times, and that's fine, but that's why he maybe is better as a number 10. I would've liked to see Guiu today. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know, I've seen some fans clamoring for that. I would've liked to see Mark Guiu up top and João Pedro in the 10. I think that would've been really interesting. What is that pass from Robert Sanchez? I just don't get Robert Sanchez sometimes because he makes all these great passes against PSG, fine. But Liverpool, yeah, fine, pretty solid game. But then you get a match like today, he's just spraying all these passes deep, and they're terrible. Half of them get intercepted, half of them just go to nobody, and it's annoying at times. I just want consistency from a keeper, and that is not Sancho's game. And I've accepted that. I've accepted that he's gonna be our guy right now, and I trust Maresca if he thinks he can be the guy, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna complain about it when he does poorly. And that's my right as a fan, by the way. I can't complain. I wanna see Chelsea get aggressive, though. I know you have this controlled possession, but you're gonna have to start doing something, and this is the frustrating thing about Maresca sometimes. I feel like he cares so much about possession, and that's fine, but it's also important to create an attack, create opportunities. Maybe this is just their feeling out period, and maybe I shouldn't even say Maresca, I should say Willy Caballero, seeing that he's the one on the sideline today. But if you're watching out there, like, subscribe, feel free to comment. Huge day for always Bayern, Chelsea. Chelsea playing right now against Nottingham Forest, which I'm talking through. Oh, bad turnover. Oh my goodness. Gibbs White misses the chance. What are these needless turnovers for Chelsea? They've had at least 3 really stupid turnovers that have led to direct chances for us. That's probably on Lavia. He should get that pass from Josh. And Gibbs White needs to put that away. It's not a good shot from Gibbs White. He's gotta put that shot away. He's gonna look back at that. Another needless play. Oh my goodness. Chelsea are just passing the ball directly to Nottingham Forest for more chances. This is insane. Are they trying to lose this match? What what is going on here for Chelsea? So they've had 4 moments in this match now where either they pass it right to Forest at their back line or fumble the ball and Forest gets it and has a shot. And that was a nice little pass there from Douglas Luiz, who, again, that's not me. I thought he was gonna be out today. But Gibbs White has another chance and can't put it away. You just gotta be better at the back line. You have to be better at the back line, whether it's Josh, Jack, another comment, appreciate you commenting. Basketball isn't always exciting. Yeah, no, I agree with those thoughts. When you're possession based, at times it can be a boring watch. I understand that. I get that that's gonna happen at times. Handball, tell you what, when he brings out his high line, which he hasn't necessarily done today so far, like he did at Tottenham a lot of times, but that's the risk you play with handball if you do have a high line. Again, it doesn't seem to really be the case today for Nottingham Forest, but we'll see. If anything, Forest have been exciting today because Chelsea have directly given them the ball multiple times. Good set piece play. Oh, how was nobody there? I thought Pedro was there for a header. Oh, he's offside. I like those set pieces though, where you go back post to a guy and he's there for a header to head back across. And he almost had João Pedro. He would have been offside either way. Yeah, and it's Spurs. Yeah, fun to watch because you could have crazy games. Spurs, the team that can beat Man City, but then lose to anybody. They ended 17th in the league or whatever it was. That's the risk you take with some of these styles sometimes. But we've also seen Maresca, even though he's got a more controlled style, he can lose to anybody. And that's what I think is frustrating because you have this dominant, let's control possession, but then you're going to be weak in defense and just allow anybody to counterattack you and win. Chelsea under Muscat have had some bad losses. I think everybody can agree with that. And they've also had some amazing wins. I need a creator in this match. I want to just fast forward to 60 minutes when they bring in Estevao. It's just crazy to say, but right now I'm not confident in these creators. Neto is fine. He does a lot of great work, but he's doubling up as two wing backs almost with Gusto on that right-hand side. Neto is not really a creator unless he's crossing the ball in, but you don't have a true striker that's gonna head the ball, even though João Pedro is good at that. He doesn't really stick in the box a ton to collect those crosses. And, you got a guy like Santos who's more of a box crasher, isn't gonna be doing a ton of creating. Garnacho maybe firing shots on goal, but we haven't seen a lot of that this year. Pretty good ball in by Forrest there, actually. Pretty good ball in, but Chelsea defends it well. But my point ultimately is I want another creator in this match right now. I think that's gonna be Esteva. He's hot right now. I know you wanna rest him coming off international breaks, by the way, going to South America. I get it. I completely get it. He's a young kid. We've seen with young players at times they're overplayed, and I don't wanna see that with Esteva. He's already played, a few hundred minutes for Chelsea, which you could argue is more than anyone expected with the injuries that we've had. Man, Sanchez just going deep a lot, all the way to the keeper. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Sanchez from a distribution aspect so far. What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think? If you're watching, Lavia needs to get back in rhythm. Again, agree. I think if Lavia is healthy and playing his ball, he's just such a good midfielder. Whether he's just not quite up to fitness yet, I think he's looked great in his cameos, but so far today, he's had a few situations found himself in where he hasn't been fantastic. But again, he's playing with a midfield that he's probably not used to. You got Gusto, Santos, Lavia in there. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. The Gusto midfield experiment. What an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, these passes I'm seeing, I just I don't like. I don't like at all. What? I don't get Sanchez. I really don't. And I'm sorry that's not a foul on Santos. That's not a foul at all. He's getting hit in the face. He's hardly even hitting Elliot Anderson, and Anderson's the one that's gonna get away with it. Santos is just a hard worker. He fouls a lot, it seems like, but I think he's acclimating himself to the Premier League. Coming from Ligue 1, where he dominated, was one of the best players in Ligue 1 last year for Strasbourg. So I'm not worried about Santos and his fouls. I think that's just the type of player he is. What a ball from Forest that gets in, almost sneaks away. Sanchez loves that overhead pass. I don't know why, he just loves it. Makes me chuckle. Jackal, again, you're spot on. You were absolutely spot on. Lavia midfield with Enzo Caicedo is so fire. So fire. Palmer on right wing. Yeah, I agree. I've been saying that for a long time. If you wanna fit in this amazing midfield 3, then you have Enzo at the 10 and Palmer right wing, and that it's an interesting play because it does give you kind of a worse attack, technically, you know? You're gonna have Enzo in the 10, who's maybe less creative in that spot, and unfortunately, then you don't have Esteval right wing, but Palmer right wing, we've seen, can be unreal, can be absolutely unreal. As Chelsea are gonna have a good spot here for a free kick. Reece James gonna take this one, you think? Get some Reece James love in the chat. Man, I love Reece James. Reece James, I need a kit. If kits weren't so expensive, I'd have about 6 Reece James kits at this point. This kit I love, by the way. I love all 3 kits. This kit's sneaky, sneaky kit, underrated. Looks like Reece James is gonna take the free kick. He's talking it over with Pedro Neto. It is kinda far, to be fair. I don't know. James looked like he didn't know what he was wanting to do there. Ends up kinda shooting it, but it's low and not threatening at all to Matsells. That was weird. Not sure what Reece James was trying to do there, to be honest. Again, we see Chelsea with a lot of the possession. Forest seem like they're trying to counter more. I don't know, at times it seems like Forrest does kinda want possession, which I think Ange would say he wants. Spent over 100,000,000 on Garnacho and Gittins, both no use. Yeah, that's not really an incorrect statement at this point, as Garnacho does get a little bit of a steal there, intercepts it. I think Garnacho's been better as of late. I think he was pretty darn good against Liverpool. Shoulda had a goal. And Gittins, yeah, he's a young guy. They're both young. They're both U21 players. I'm not that worried. I think at least one of them is gonna pan out to be a pretty solid left winger, but I get the comment. I completely get the comment. It's been interesting to see Chelsea and the decisions they make. They've been throwing a lot of darts at young guys, and I think so far we can say it's worked out for the most part. You get a guy like Palmer with a dart. You get a guy like Estevao, who I think is gonna be an unreal talent for this team. But yeah, unfortunately, Garnacho hasn't been amazing so far, neither has Gittins, as Garnacho just gets bodied. And I get the comment. I totally get the comment. Let's just see what happens though. Somebody's gonna stake a claim with that left wing spot. Yeah, Yildiz, I tell you what, he is a talent. He is a talent. Was he for sale? Who knows for sure. Oh, nice play from Pedro finding Garnacho on the wing. He tries it outside of the boot pass. Okay. Alejandro Garnacho, you're making my man Baron here look like an absolute king for roasting you. That's tough. That's tough. Agreed, though. Garnacho's look better than Gittins. Gittins, for me, has not done much. He looked good in the preseason, but since then has not really done much at all. But back to Yildiz. What a talent. What a talent. Would have loved to see him. I know a lot of Chelsea fans really like Yildiz. But again, Garnacho on that last break there tries the outside of the boot pass. Oh, wow. Neto crosses one in, ends up just going to Marcel's. Just ends up firing it right at Sells. Okay, good context because yeah. Yeah, I don't think he would've gone for 100,000,000, to be honest. I think that's a little absurd, but I see your point. Yeah, and if they're struggling financially, they'd potentially accept less. Who knows? There's clubs that happens. Although Chelsea thought Barcelona would do that with Fermin Lopez, and that wasn't the case. Who knows if Lopez even wanted to leave. Sounds like he kinda wanted to stay at Barca, but I get it. Some of these clubs at times are struggling, and then you hope you can take them for cheap, or maybe the player's disgruntled. We saw that with Garnacho and Man United. That's I think what Chelsea sporting directors do a lot of times. They try to find situations where maybe a player wants out, or they can get a guy for cheap, or they find these market opportunities. I thought Garnacho was just a really key example of that, a market opportunity. Deep ball to the man I'm discussing. Garnacho's just not feeling it today. He needs to do better on that left wing. He's not doing a great job of getting the ball. That was a good pass, to be honest. You gotta do better to collect the ball there. You just have to. Still 0-0 here. If you're watching, like, subscribe. Feel free to comment. Got a few of you in the chat here in the stream. It seems like every time they get players forward, Chelsea have less defenders on the break. Good defending there, though, on the cross by Reece James. Reece is such a rock. And can we talk about Reece James? How much of a rock he is? Oh, wow. Forest have 52% possession. Anybody else feel like Chelsea have been dominating possession and yet Forest have more? It's really interesting, actually. I would have told you Chelsea got like 65% possession, to be honest. But it's not typical Ange ball either. That's a play on, ref. That's a play on. Why are you calling that foul? Maresca looks bored, dazed, and confused. Good defending from Cucurella. Give me a Cucurella goal. Give me a Cucurella goal. Give me the fillet of fish. Give me that fish. Any Americans that know that song, McDonald's? It's terrible that I'm just singing that right now, but give me some shots on goal. Give me something here, Chels. What do you have for me? What do you have for me? Good pressing from Pedro, but again, I'm liking what I see from Josh. I think he's strong at the back line. He had an errant pass that I could argue Lavia should have gotten, but you need to do more when you get possession if you're Chelsea. I'm already thinking about changes that I wanna make. I'm already thinking about changes I wanna make. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Cucurella is one of the best left backs in the world. I think he's the best left back in the Premier League right now. I think he has been for the last year. Hasn't had a super, super strong start to the year, but at times he's still showing us his quality. Josh is carrying again. Oh my gosh. Hate to get off of the Cucurella talk, and then he gives it away, but Josh Achampong, he knows how to carry the ball. Good tackle from Lavia. That's a Caicedo tackle right there from Lavia. Good ball from Garnacho, and then he gives it away. So every time we're getting the ball in decent chances, we just give it right back to Forest. It's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. We need to do more with this possession that we are getting. James tucked more into the midfield now. Ooh, Neto's dribbling today has just been on fire. I need somebody at the back post there, though, when Neto's there on his cross. Is there nobody that can go at the back post right there? Whether it's Cucurella, I don't think he's pushing that far up, but can I get a Santos there? A Garnacho? Can I get somebody there, please? I just wanna see more out of this attack. I gotta see more. Big ups to everybody in the chat right now, watching. Like, subscribe, send it to all your friends. Danny and I are just grinding on this Always Bayern Chelsea pod. Again, big day. Big day for Bayern and Chelsea. Bayern play Dortmund here in the coming hours, Der Klassiker. Come on, Garnacho, show me something. Show me something. Alright. And then he can't get around his defender, though. I need more from Garnacho. Nacho cheese, dude. I'm trying to wear a cheese head for you, a Green Bay Packer cheese head. Oh! Santos almost did have his first goal. Cheeky little pass from Neto to João Pedro in the box. Very cheeky little pass. Good shot from Santos, to be honest. It just goes over the post with it. I'd love, 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 love to see Santos bag his first goal for Chelsea today. Sanchez, that's what he does best, cross claiming. Sanchez, one of the best at cross claiming. Does a lot of other things poorly, makes you nervous, but when he goes out to claim a cross, you usually feel pretty confident. Willie Caballero, evil twin. That's funny. That's funny. I thought you'd see Maresca with maybe he does have an earpiece in or, like, more technology to be able to talk to the guys on the touchline, and that hasn't really been the case, at least doesn't look like it. That's funny, though. That's a funny comment. Is anybody gonna get a red card today, do we think? Chelsea have had this run of red cards. Saw Sanchez, João Pedro, Chalobah. Maresca kept it going with his own red card. Double yellow for the red. João Pedro does such good work with the ball, and he gets fouled and beaten up so much. Finally gets a yellow card drawn out there. But again, when he plays so deep to collect the ball, that's a clear yellow. I think he stepped on his foot. Morato. But the problem I have with João Pedro dropping that deep, as good as he is at it, then you have nobody up top that he can pass the ball to. We saw that when they had 10 men with United, but even this match, he's gonna turn and maybe try to get it to the wings, but I want somebody else replacing him in that number 9 striker spot if he's gonna drop deep. Again, here he's turning, and they replaced him with Santos and Gusto. Oh, Santos! Oh, Santos, that's your chance. Oh, I wonder if he could have taken another touch first. What a ball from João Pedro. Turns, fires it forward, ends up being to Santos. Shoots it first time. Oh my goodness. Just as I'm talking about João Pedro finding guys to replace him, they do exactly that. If Santos is gonna be that guy, I'm completely fine with that. I trust him to be that guy that can replace him and be strong and do that. That is completely great for me. But man, couple decent chances from Andre Santos now that we've seen. Is today gonna be the day Santos gets his first Chelsea goal? I would love nothing more. Feed me an Andre Santos goal. Feed it to me. Oh, quit complaining, Elliot. Come on. Feed me an Andre Santos goal. Feed it to me. What's Twitter saying? Anybody seeing the Twitter tweeters today? What are they saying about this match? I don't mind Chelsea playing the first game either today, to be honest. Early here, Central Standard Time in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but gets me right back from the international break, seeing my Blues playing. If you're in the chat, comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate you. Early in the morning here, but glad to be watching Chelsea. Almost halftime here. Been a boring game for the most part. Forest have had a few chances early in the game when Chelsea just gave them the ball multiple times. Chelsea here with a couple chances late through João Pedro and Andre Santos. The Brazilian connection that we've seen a couple times so far. The fans are pissed early on, looks like. It's tough though. It's tough when you're Chelsea and you're without Enzo and Caicedo, guys who start basically every Premier League match, and you're expected to get your midfield figured out when you have Santos in there, Lavia in there. Chelsea have committed more errors leading to opposition shots than in any other match in the Premier League so far this year. That is an insane statistic, and we saw that in the first part of this match, as I said. They literally gave them, like, 4 opportunities just from errant passes and mistakes. I like what I've seen from Santos here late. Oh, good back heel to Gusto. Oh, Neto fires a long shot. Pretty close, actually. Pretty close, pretty close. That's a good strike, man. Just gets up on him a little bit at the end there, but Chelsea need to do better here. I just think you can't expect to do well in a match where you have Gusto playing midfield. I get he's been reasonably fine, but you're not, like, setting your team up for success to score all these goals, you know? That's kind of the weird thing about it. Like, if he's ever gonna get the ball in a good position attacking, he's not really gonna do anything with it. As we go to halftime here, just not good enough from Chelsea. You're playing a team under Ange that has mightily struggled, mightily struggled. You gotta take advantage. You have to take advantage. You wonder who's going to come in for Chelsea here. If you're watching, maybe comment your thoughts, who you think could come in for Chelsea. You're definitely gonna see Estevao. Um, I would put Guiu on, honestly. I think with what João Pedro has shown me so far, you want a guy that is gonna be able to work with João Pedro up top. Apparently, he was warming up with Estevao and Caicedo as well. Yeah, you were never gonna see Lavia play the full match. You were never gonna see that. I don't know, it's definitely an interesting start so far for Chelsea, um, to be honest. We're hanging out here at half. Definitely keep commenting, like, and subscribe if you're new. Appreciate anybody tuning in. It's halftime with Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. Not the greatest start coming off the international break, but we always see that coming off international breaks for these guys. Chelsea, let's be honest, are without a lot of guys, but I expect more against a Forest team that's sitting 17th in the Premier League and has struggled to this point. And does not have the team firing at all. I expect more from Chelsea. I really do. Just tweeting here for people to join the live stream. Yeah, I just again, I expect more from Chelsea, and I think that's fair to expect more. I just need to see them do better. It's as simple as that, really. It is as simple as that. What are we thinking? What are we thinking here? It's been an interesting start. Welcome into the chat, in the stream if you're watching here. Always Bayern Chelsea, Chelsea playing Forest at halftime. Bayern do play in a few hours here, about 4 hours against Dortmund der Klassiker. That's gonna be a huge match as well. But we're here, halftime, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. I'm not hugely liking what I'm seeing from Chelsea. Yeah, not the most dominant half from Chelsea. When you have a midfield that's new to playing with each other, you got Lavia, Gusto, James at times with Santos in that 10 role. It's been shaky, and toward the end of the half, they did have a couple moments, but largely in the first 15 minutes, they were giving the ball directly away to Forest. Gusto gives the ball directly away that leads to a shot. Achimpong and Lavia had a mishap where the ball ends up going. Yeah, they're showing the Chalobah pass right now. That was the worst one. Chalobah, I'm sorry, you're not a proven Premier League player at this point. You're just not. Yeah, that Elliot Anderson chance after that bad Chalobah pass, that was their best one. I mean, these passes that they gave to Forrest, the Gibbs White chance they just showed again at halftime, the pass is actually fine from Josh, to be honest, and Lavia just can't handle it, but Gibbs White, how are you not putting that away? Who's been worse, these Chelsea defenders or the Forest attackers? You could argue the Forest attackers have been just as bad, but then Chelsea somehow, in the last 10 minutes of the half, get a couple Andre Santos chances. That's the encouraging thing. I think what you have with Santos at times, he can be what Enzo Fernandez is. That to me is encouraging, but still I need to see more. Still, I need to see more. Yeah, XG right now, we got Forest .53, Chelsea .36, both with 1 big chance. Is that Santos' chance the big chance? Probably, I assume. Great ball from João Pedro. I really like what I see from João Pedro, but again, I wanna see a guy up top with him and him being able to play that second striker role. I think that's what he can be, and I wish it was Delap. We obviously know he's hurt, but I think you can bring in Mark Yu here in the second half. I really do. Need to win in the second half, though. Need to win. I love watching Chelsea Football Club, I do, but they are madly frustrating at times. I was, joking the other day because I was complaining about the Los Angeles Dodgers who have all this money and they make winning look so easy. They can get any player they want, and I kinda was like, how can you root on a team that has all this money? It must not even be fun, and I realized in saying that, that's how Chelsea are. They have so much money and need them a fan, but the time that I've been a fan, over the last 4 years here, it's been a roller coaster. So I don't feel as bad at this point, um, and they're also just so bad at times and so good. So it's not like a traditional have all this money, just dominate, dominate, dominate. It's more fun. It's, "Hey, they're showing Highbury. Shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to the Milwaukee Blues. Let's go." The Highbury Pub in Bayview. They just showed it on USA over halftime here. Highbury Pub, baby. Wish I was there right now. I'm sure they're having a great time if anybody's there. 6:30 AM in Milwaukee. Wake up, have a beer. enjoy the game with the boys in the pub. That's the football life. That's half the reason I got into this sport is it's been so much fun to just get up, go to the pub, have a great time, watch the football. I live right next to what's called Red Lion Pub here in Milwaukee, so I can just go there anytime. I'm sure they're open right now. I wasn't streaming. I honestly thought about going. I was there, what, 2 weeks ago? No, maybe 3 weeks ago. Chelsea were playing Brighton. That match sucked, by the way, but yeah, Jackal, you've been spot on all morning, all day here because Chelsea, as I read out that statistic, have given the ball away, leading to opposition chances the most times ever in a Premier League match so far this season. That is an insane statistic. I'll keep saying that's, and they showed them at halftime. They had the Gusto and they had the header that Pong couldn't quite read that led to a chance. They had the Chalaba terrible pass, and they had the Josh mishap where he passed it to Lavia, who can't quite corral it. That's four right there, at least. That I'm thinking of. I think they all led two chances for Forest, and they couldn't bury any of them. That's why. Who's worse, these Chelsea players or the Forest attack? I don't know. It's insane. It's insane because how many gifts are you going to give another team before they eventually score? You know, I don't know if the Chelsea players decided we're just going to be Santa Claus and give all these gifts. Going to be Saint Nick. We're going to be an elf. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. Chelsea are lucky right now. Chelsea are definitely lucky. I want to see more from them. I have to see more from Chelsea because if they're going to win this match, they got to do better. They have to do better. So shout out to anybody watching right now on the stream. Share the stream. If you feel like sharing the stream to your friends, family, I'd appreciate it. I want to get more people in here and enjoying. Even if nobody was watching, I'd still stream. I think it's fun to talk through matches and things. I hate watching by myself, so now it feels like even if nobody was watching, I'm watching with the community. So appreciate you all for watching. Those of you that have been commenting, Jack, we appreciate you. Big ups to you for always commenting. Danny and I have been trying to stream more. We want to stream more because I think it's a lot of fun. We obviously streamed the big Chelsea Bayern Champions League match, which was a ton of fun, although it was so stressful. Not even gonna lie, one of the more stressful times. I was kind of the underdog, so maybe less stress for me, but it was tense. Danny and I are best friends, and that was tense. So, but man, live streaming is just fun. I watch every match anyway, so why not broadcast? So if you're here, really appreciate you. If you like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll talk through this Chelsea second half. If you're in the stream right now, you want to comment, tell me who you'd like to see as a sub for Chelsea in the second half. I think it's pretty obvious. You bring on Esteva. I would probably bring him on for Garnacho, move Neto over to that left wing. I don't like when Neto's playing the right wing with Gusto because I think you're doubling up on wingbacks at that point. They both are kind of a wingback style player. Gusto doesn't provide really anything in the attack. So I would move Neto over to the left wing so that at least you have two guys that can bomb forward. And whether Gusto's in the midfield or not, we'll see. But that's the move I would make for sure. Estevao needs to come on. I think he's a guy that can get you a goal here. Again, I keep preaching this. I would bring on Mark Yu. I would bring on Mark Yu. I don't know if Enzo trusts him. I think I do. He doesn't have to do that much. What he has to do is come on, press hard, run the channels, and be there for João Pedro when he gets the ball. That's not asking too much, in my opinion. And we've seen that João Pedro gets himself and his teammates in good positions when he drops deep as that number 10, because he's not really a true striker playing the way that he does. He drops deep, gets the ball, and then when he pushes it forward, he doesn't have that many options to move it forward to his teammates. So you bring on a Guiu, and you're gonna have an outlet for him to go to. And you can almost think of it like in basketball too, when you grab a rebound, the outlet pass. That's what you need. João Pedro is the guy who comes in, grabs the rebound, and by that I mean he grabs the ball from the center backs, he turns, he needs a guy to fire an outlet pass to. If that's Esteva on the right wing, Neto is a great option on the left wing for that. But if you also have Guiu in its striker, that can be a guy up top, a box presence to get the ball to, that will open things up for João Pedro, in my opinion. I think that'd be huge. It'd be a great move for Maresca to make. In the midfield, I'd probably make a change there as well at some point. We know Enzo's not available, but Caicedo is seemingly available, I hope. I think you can bring him on at some point, probably for Lavia, because Lavia is not going more than 60 minutes, if I were to guess. So that's a move you can make. And Jackal is a Gallagher stan. That's fair. Okay. Wow. Okay. Real quick before I talk about Gallagher here, they're bringing on Gittins. They're bringing on Guiu. Gittins coming on for who? Who's he coming on for? I'm assuming he's coming on for Garnacho. I didn't quite catch the sub, but we also have Guiu coming on for Santos. Don't necessarily want Santos to leave the pitch, but he is. Glad Guiu's coming on. So João Pedro is going to be the 10 now with Guiu up top. And then you're really just going to stick with midfield Lavia and Gusto, I guess. But back to this Gallagher comment. I've been a Chelsea fan here for 4 years now. This is my fourth year as a Chelsea fan. So for me, seeing Gallagher, it was tumultuous. And I like him as a person. I like the things he does box to box. He's a dog. He presses you hard. He does the little things. And that's huge. But I don't know if he would have fit in this Maresca system. I just don't know for sure. Um, I love Marquis already, what he's doing. Just doing his best to body some defenders. He earns a corner right away, 20 seconds in. But yeah, Gallagher, I think, is a good player. He's a player that, off your bench, can be tremendous in what he provides with his hustle and hard play and heart. And I think he's a Chelsea guy through and through. So a lot of that would have been really good. The short corner stuff for Chelsea. It doesn't end up doing much. Neto tries to cross it, finds Ashton, but he can't do anything with it. I get the short corner at times, but also it doesn't end up doing much. So I don't know. Bring me Esteva. Bring me Esteva. Get him on the pitch. Oh, Caicedo did come on. I didn't even notice that. My bad. My bad. I didn't even notice that. He came on, assuming for Lavia. João Pedro just works hard. He works so hard. What a guy he is. He literally is going up against 3 guys, like, all the time. Draws a foul. Probably not a foul, but the ref is too far away, can't quite tell, and the guy did drag his foot across, to be fair. But João Pedro is just a hard worker. He's a hard worker, and I love that for him. I love that for him. Absolutely love that for him. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, let's do it. Chill, but you are looking clean. I love the dreads, but you're looking clean with a buzz cut. I'm not even gonna lie. Whip a good cross in. Let's get a goal. Let's get a goal. I wanna get a couple goals here. I think I predicted 2-1, but I wanna get a couple goals here for Chelsea. Low cross from Reece James. Not the biggest fan of that. You need to get the ball up into a spot where guys have a chance at it, I think. Oh, goal! Cha-cha-cha-boom! Let's go! Let's go! What a cross from Neto! Let's go! Josh gets his goal! Yeah, baby! Oh, no, I'm clapping into my mic, but let's go! Oh, Angelic's pissed. Angelic's pissed. Let's go! Come on, baby. Oh, man. What a cross from Pedro Neto. Are you serious? Josh with just a free header. Easy header. Past Matt Sells. Make sure he's not off here. Yeah, not even close being off. Oh my goodness. What a cross from Pedro Neto. Are you serious? What a cross. What a cross from Pedro Neto. And a beautiful header from Pong. Easy header, but beautiful header. That is such a good cross. Oh my gosh, that's a good cross. That's a beautiful goal. That is a beautiful goal. Enzo loves it in the stands. He loves it. Come on, baby. Now let's add more. Let's keep pushing. Push, 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 push. Add more. These fans are gonna get really toxic. These fans are probably so pissed. I hate Ange at this point. Let's go. Up the Chelsea. Damn right up the Chelsea. Shout out to Danny for tuning in. Tuning in at a perfect time. I don't know if you just tuned in. My good sir. What a goal though. Pedro Neto with a beautiful cross. Josh with just a great header. Already Pedro with the link up play with Guiu as a 10. As I said, I've been saying all day, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. Jackal, my man, still here in the chat. Love you. Ups to you. Big ups to you. Let's get that momentum going. Guiu, what did I say? I was preaching it all first half. I wanna see Mark Guiu. He comes in, already has great link up play with João Pedro, and now draws a free kick in a huge spot. Maresca, listen to me more often. I'm looking at you, Maresca. Listen to me. I know what's up with Mark Guiu. I don't care if he's young. You need a striker in there with João Pedro. Can we add a second here so quick? Can I get a Reece James free kick worldly? Reese's Pieces, Reese boy? Would be huge. Would be huge. He's always chatting with Pedro now. It's gotta be Reese that takes it. It's gotta be Reese. Always respect the boys in blue. The boys in blue are strong right now. We got a Josh Achiampong goal here in the first few minutes of the second half. Life is good. There's no other team that I even watched in any other sport that I would even care about. It's all Chelsea. There's no team that lost last night. Oh, what a goal for Pedro Neto! Let's go! What a goal! Reece James thankfully takes it to Neto, and he scores. Are you kidding me? Oh, life is good. Life is good. Life is good. You need to pick me up after a Brewers sweep. You get Chelsea Football Club. Are you serious? What a goal. What a goal. Man. Oh, should he say that? I'm not sure. No, I mean, he's never gonna see it, I don't think. Oh, it's just a clean strike, yeah, he stretches for it, not sells, but that's just a clean strike, I think. I think that's a good goal. Pedro Neto deserves it. He's starting the second half off on a heater. He gets his assist to Achimpong. Up the Chelsea, baby. Let's go. 2-0. 2 freaking nil right now. Man, I'm loving everything about this. Loving absolutely everything about this. That is the Chelsea we know, Jackal. That's the Chelsea I know and love. You're damn right. You are absolutely correct in saying that. Up the freaking Chelsea. The away fans are loving it. Push for more. Let's keep pushing. I want 3. I want 4. I want 5. Hudson-Odoi did come on for Forest, the former Cobham Academy product. That was stupid from Gusto. I yeah, I agree with the announcer there. It looks worse than it was, but no reason to do that if you're Gusto. I don't even know if Gusto touched. Well, he doesn't look mad, so he's fine with the yellow card. But Chelsea up 2-0. Come on, baby. Absolutely massive. And it's the subs, I think, that have made a difference so far. It's allowed João Pedro to play his game that he likes as the attacking midfielder's second striker option, bringing on Guiu to be a dog up there, up top for Chelsea. And I think that frees stuff up for Neto as well. Maybe I should have straight up just bet Chelsea. I did pair it with a Cucurella goal, which I don't know how likely that is at this point. Again, good defending from James. Just a rock in there. Knows how to make me feel safe. Absolutely knows how to make me feel safe. Can I get a Jamie Gittins goal? Forced to threatening here. Forced to threatening. That's a good ball in. Can I get a Jamie Gittins goal? Forest do have a corner here. I wonder what their strategy is. You know, they bring on Callum Hudson-Odoi. They're really probably looking to go on the attack. Looked like they almost got a free header there. Can Chelsea go on the break here with Gittins? Out to Neto. Can he find João Pedro? Oh, you got to get that pass through to João Pedro. Oh, he had it. He definitely had Pedro going out there, and Pedro's telling him. He definitely had it. He definitely had it. Enzo Maresca still looking on, obviously, from the stands. There's so many guys on Chelsea I'd love to see score a goal right now. Jamie Gittins, I'd love for him to get his first. Mark Guiu, my absolute dog. I would love to see him score. Caicedo brings so much calm presence to that midfield, though. Like, he's already come in and, like, right now, he's just passing the ball back and forth, but he's just awesome. He's such a lovely player. Getting his goal would be huge. Oh, Guiu's forward. Tries to oh, he's offside. Oh, man. Okay. Why are we just shoving Mark Guiu? You kidding me? Guiu. Guiu just oh, that's funny. I love Mark Guiu. But, yeah, a Gittins goal would be massive because he's had a lot of fans on his ass for rightfully so, some poor play, and I think a goal for him, the confidence that we could have shine through for Gittins would be awesome, and it would be so cool. If he scored a goal, on the same day as Der Klassiker, the former Dortmund player, if he scored a goal today, that would be funny, and I think Dortmund fans could be triggered because they're about to get smashed by Bayern Munich. Absolutely smashed. Yeah, just a good call by my usual co-host here. You do. I think that's a okay. Pedro's got the ball here in a good spot. Oh, he went for the shot. I think he coulda crossed that in, whoever that was in the midfield there. Forrest pull at Chelsea and just give the ball directly to us. He tries to whip in the shot. I think he coulda gone back to Gittins or he had the midfield wide open there. Yeah, Boo Dortmund, I think they're gonna get smashed. Don't worry, Danny. They need to get smashed since I have that little money on Bayern. Need a big win from Bayern Munich today. Kane Hattie incoming. Can I get a Kane Hattie chant in the chat going? Yeah, I mean, with all due respect to Maddie here, you just it some people are built different. Some wake up at 6:10 and are ready for the day and are just rolling and rolling and cheering their team on, but just so you know, it's actually 2-0. I don't have my scoreboard up. It didn't unfortunately work. It was blocking my entire body. So that's on me, that's a mistake, but it's 2-0, and as I was saying, some people are built different and just grind for their team, but respect to you for joining in the chat. Hat trick Harry. Hat trick Harry. Sorry to any Chelsea fans watching that don't wanna talk about Harry Kane. Disgusting Spurs player, but he's the best striker in the world, as I've talked about multiple times. And I would love nothing more for him to get a hat trick today to win money for me with my Bayern Munich bet. Pedro's forward here, though. Good cross into Guiu, who just can't control it. That is what I've noticed with Guiu at times. He's such a dog type player, just fast, 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 that I think he gets his legs ahead of him in what he wants to do and then can't control the ball. Um, and yeah, I think he just gets ahead of himself. But I tell you what, shout out to anybody watching. Big ups to all of you. Just gonna keep saying big up. That's what everybody says these days over there in Europe. Like, subscribe, comment. Give me some comments in here. Jackal, if you're still in here, tell me your thoughts on what you want to see from the second half. Do you want to see Estevao come in? I do. I want to see my star boy come in and score a goal. We saw Estevao score 2 goals. He got a brace against South Korea over the international break. It was a friendly, fine. You can make that argument, but I don't care because he's so talented. Actually, some good play from Forrest there. Good play from Kellen Hudson-Odoi and Elliot Anderson. That's some good play, I won't even lie. They cross it back to the middle and had a shot. Chelsea need to be buttoning up here. I wanna score a third. I also wanna be defensively strong. Oh my goodness. How do you not score that if you're Forrest? That is a brilliant cross from Zinchenko, a Neto-like cross. Is that Nico Williams that just missed a sitter? What a cross. Oh my goodness. Huge up to you, Maddie. Are you kidding me? Huge up to you. Oh, what a missed opportunity for Forrest. So bad by Forrest there. I'm sorry, but that's terrible. If you're a Forest fan, you hate this team right now. Good ball. Oh, I wanna give you goal so bad. I wanna give you goal so bad. Feed me a Giu goal. I like what but this is what I'm talking about with Giu. He's gonna run the channels, he's gonna press, he's gonna link up with João Pedro, with the wingers, midfielders. And when João Pedro's playing and he doesn't have a guy right there, he struggles more. So I think Guiu has opened up so much for Chelsea here already in the second half. Is Ange gonna get sacked? That's a tough question. Marinakis, their big owner, who knows what that guy's thinking? They've shown him about 1,000 times here. I don't know if I would sack Ange. Is that really gonna help your club moving forward with another managerial change? I would argue the players are at fault for the game today. They should be damn near leading this game or at least drawing because they've literally been gifted a million chances from Chelsea. I said it was so good. Forest are on the break here. Good defending from Chalba to get back and from Josh as well. Yeah, he's a big owner. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. I don't wanna be rude. I don't wanna have a rich guy be on my bad side, but you gotta eat the rich, although it looks like somebody is doing a lot of eating. Am I right? Oh. But speaking of eat the rich, this is a, stream about Chelsea Nottingham Forest, but I gotta say, eat the rich, you gotta do it in life. Screw all those billionaires, and shout out to anybody that is going to a No Kings protest today. Wish it could be me. I looked into it, really was gonna go, but I got my sister's baby shower today, so I'm gonna be out of pocket, but oh, you almost oh my goodness, almost a goal. Wow, Forest are threatening. Forest have had some chances here. Tell you what, they get a free header that Sanchez saves, and then it goes right to the Forest player. How do you not score that though? Yeah, no kings eat the rich. Except for Kane. Yeah, tell you what, Kane athletes are interesting for me when we talk about eat the rich. Good defending there on the corner though. We got a foul? Okay. Chelsea need to button up their defense here. They really do. But yeah, when we talk about athletes and eat the rich, billionaires, millionaires, it's an interesting topic for sure because the amount of money that owners and sports make, they just it's fistfuls of money. So much money, billions, billions, billions. And I'd rather see that money go to the players than the owners. So I have a hard time really saying eat the rich about athletes. There's a lot of athletes I love and I think are great people. I think it depends if you're a good person. Harry Kane's a good guy, so I respect it. Obviously, the LeBron James is the world, one of the best guys out there. I'm never gonna say eat the rich for him. Man, Chelsea are struggling here though. Chelsea are struggling. Is this Vegas like having Chelsea play poor as I'm now talking about the rich and they're pissed at me? I don't know. See, Gusto provides nothing in attack. Like he gets himself in a good position, but then he can't do anything with it. He can't cross it. He can't find a good spot to be in. And that's the struggle I have with Malo Gusto because he works hard. He runs, runs, runs. But now he's playing this midfield role where he's going to find himself in spots where you need to provide something in the attack. You need to be technically strong. And he isn't that. He doesn't have any goals for Chelsea. He's not that player. Good work from Josh there. Yeah, again, when they're showing the owner box, he's not there anymore. Is he eating right now? Is he working behind the scenes to fire Ange? Who knows? But he's not where he was before, so Ange might get fired before the end of this match. He literally might get fired before the end of this match. But I agree with my fellow Patriot here. Yeah, it's true. You know, you have a rare athlete like a LeBron that's worth billions because of all he's done off the court. A Messi, a Ronaldo, these guys that are so rich for other reasons. But again, yeah, they're providing whether you call it labor, it's kinda entertainment, but you're working for it, and the owners are technically the ones that are more exploiting it. Yeah, the Marinakuses of the world that make all these rash decisions and kinda screw over their players, their managers, they're the ones that you wanna eat, not necessarily the athletes themselves. I agree with that. Chelsea with some more possession here, though. Caicedo, again, showing that he's better than Lavia at this point. Some good link-up play, João Pedro, again, dropping deep because he likes that 10 role. Can I get a cross in from Gusto? He shoots it with his left foot. I never wanna see that again. Why are you ever shooting if you're Malo Gusto? Please never do that again. You're so bad. Good cross from Neto, low key. Good cross from Neto, low key there. I'll be back in, like, 2 seconds here. I think I timed that well. Yeah, I timed that pretty well. Okay, so 70th minute. Chelsea are up 2-0. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment. My man Jacko must have left. Sorry, I shouldn't assume it's a man, but Jacko, wherever you are, if you're watching, give me a comment because you provided a lot of great analysis in that first half, and I want to see more from you. And if you left, that's unfortunate. But I want to see a third from Chelsea. They're playing a little dicey here after getting that Neto goal. Again, Pedro with a turnover, just giving it right to Forest. How did that not go in? Did that go off the post? I mean, Forest, just a brilliant opportunity for a goal, and I think it goes off the post. It's off a free header. Oh, Guiu almost had a Chelsea goal. Almost had a goal. So did that it went off the inside of the post. Chelsea have luck on their side today. They have luck on their side. Are you serious? That is insane. Now to answer Maddie's question here, yeah, right now who's on the pitch? It'd be Gittins and Guiu. I would love to see goals from them. But I think João Pedro is deserving of a goal too because he works so hard. Everything that he does for this club is beautiful, and he hasn't had a goal in some time here. It's been weeks. So I'd love to see that as well. But man, why are we not bringing on Esteva? Is it just because we're trying to be defensive at this point? I guess you really rest him up more and you have him for Ajax, but then, I'm expecting to see Esteva start against Ajax at this point if that's what Maresca is deciding to do. What do we think, chat? Guiu nursing what looks like a elbow to the face, maybe? That's at least what he's saying. But I think he's alright. He's a tough guy. He's a dog. I love Mark Guiu. I'm just gonna keep saying it. I love what he provides for this team. Jackal is back. I agree. Like, I almost don't know if I wanna feel super good about this match for Chelsea because Forest could have, like, 5 goals. In the first half, Chelsea gifted them 4 opportunities, and now they go off the post here. They also missed that sitter that went way over the post. I mean, I gotta look at these stats, but yeah, 4 big chances, 1.28 XG for Forest. 3 big chances for Chelsea, 1.39 XG. It's insane that Forest has not scored. But I think that's just their club right now. It's toxic. They're really creating chances here, they are. They're threatening, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Looks like they're gonna bring on Wood, as well as another player. I'm not sure who that is. Zinchenko coming off. I think he played pretty well. I thought he was gonna be out too. I think everybody that I listed that was gonna be out for Forest actually played except for Olaine. Savona coming on. Not sure who he is, but Savona Grand, property that my company owns, makes me think of that. But Forest, again, have been threatening here in the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Need to see Chelsea lock in. Good defending from Neto on Hudson-Odoi there. Pockets of space, ages of space here for Forest, though. You just get worried at the end of these games when, they say 2-0 is one of the most dangerous leads. Because, like, 1-0, I feel like you're still nervy and playing more locked in, whereas 2-0, you have that extra cushion, and it maybe lets you relax a little bit, which isn't always a good thing in sports. You wanna play loose, you wanna play free, but you don't wanna be too relaxed to the point where you're not locked in and focusing on the task at hand. Oh, what a comment we have here from Jackal, and I wonder if Danny's still watching, but yeah, there was a rumor a few years ago when Kane did go to Bayern Munich that Chelsea were, vaguely interested. Um, I wouldn't put it past Todd Bailey, Vedad Egbali, Luco to be interested in a guy like Harry Kane. They certainly have shown they have the money for it. I don't think Harry Kane would ever go to Chelsea. He loves Tottenham. Um, I think if he returns to the Premier League, he's gonna have quite the decision. If he wants any wins at all, how have Forest not done better there? Anderson's gotta shoot there. But yeah, I think Kane is just never going to Chelsea, unfortunately. Um, I hope he stays at Bayern. I don't wanna see him back in the Premier League. I think he wants to come back to the Premier League eventually, but for my boy Danny's sake, I hope he stays at Bayern and has success there. Yeah, and Danny agrees with me. I think most people would probably say this comment is true. If you're Kane, you're a Tottenham boy, why would you go to another team in the Premier League if you come back? We already know Tottenham do have the interest. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Another Bayern Chelsea transfer would be great for the pod. It'd be a huge move. It would be world shattering, earth shattering. But and here comes Esteva. Wow. He finally comes on. Coming on for Neto, who has an assist and a goal. What a day for Pedro Neto. What a day for the Portuguese man, Pedro Neto. But it's time to see my star boy Estevao cook. He's gonna cook. I think he's gonna bag a goal here in the last 15 minutes. Yeah, Jackal, I think that's what Kane probably wants. I think he wants to win a crap load of trophies at Bayern. I think he's gonna try his hardest to win Champions League with Bayern, set records. He's gonna try I think he's damn near gonna set the Bundesliga record this season for goals, and he's gonna show the world that he's the best striker in the world, which I think he is right now, but I think that's his goal, to rack up those accolades, get to a point where he can establish himself as one of the best strikers to ever live. But I think he also wants to do really big things with England. I think ultimately, I bet his biggest goal is to win a World Cup next summer with England. I think he cares more about that than winning trophies at Bayern, which I think he wants to do. But I think if you were to ask him, he'd say he wants to win a World Cup with England. That would establish him as one of the all-time greats for sure. And then we'll see from there. You know, we'll see from there what he decides to do if he wants to come back to the Premier League. But pretty funny, we got this sub coming on, handing pieces of paper to the Chelsea squad to see what their tactics are, and then you got Caicedo just roaming around the pitch with this piece of paper in his hand. Reminds me of when that happened at Bayern, and then they end up scoring, shortly thereafter. But shout out to Thomas Muller, by the way, for what he's doing with Vancouver. But let's get Estevo involved here. Forrest trying to cross it. Oh, almost a header for Chris Wood. Almost an open header for Chris Wood, and we know he would put away a chance like that. Yeah, good call. He had the paper in his pants. Caicedo was just freely walking around with it. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Too funny. Too funny. You're just beating up Reece James here? Igor Jesus. What are you doing, man? Don't be touching my boy like that. Ooh, yeah, that's a tough knock to the knee. That's gotta hurt. That has gotta hurt. That piece of paper is just laying on the grass now. How is the ref not picking up the piece of paper? It's right next to him on the ground. Who just got a yellow card, by the way? Was it somebody on Chelsea? Reece James finally picks up the piece of paper. Oh, he's gonna put it in his kit. He's gonna put it in his socks. That is too funny. That is too funny. Yeah, you don't wanna litter in this world. It'd be a terrible thing. Oh, so Sangare got a yellow card. Okay, that's good. I was worried it was Reece James, like, for dissent or something, but Sangare picks up the yellow. We care about the environment here on the Always Bayern Chelsea pod. If you're watching, tuning in, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some comments. There's been some great comments all match long. We've been talking about this match. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun here. Jackal, big up to you for being involved most of the day. Not sure what that ball is from Reece James. Again, the lineup today for Maresca with guys that he's had out, a lot of interesting choices. And he had to make some tough calls. Couldn't start Caicedo or Enzo. That's a great recovery of the ball there from Estevao, who keeps dribbling. Man, this guy's electric. Estevao is just so fun to watch. And he's acclimated so well to the Premier League thus far, which is crazy to say and to see. João Pedro has been a great dribbler today. There's just no denying that. He's been awesome. Love everything I've been seeing from João Pedro. As we approach, the last 10 to 15 minutes of this match, you wanna see Chelsea button up their defense, be strong in that, but I'd also consider pushing for a third because I think this Forest team is only gonna open up a little bit. Ooh, good ball in from Cucurella. Oh, Guiu almost gets on the end of a Esteva! Esteva! Oh, deflected. Oh, good shot from Esteva. Every time he gets the ball, you feel good, and you just feel this energy that's different. There's not many players where you just feel that great vibe that something crazy is gonna happen. Oh, facts. Star boy, young star. Oh, goal! Reece James! Reece James goal off a corner. Deflected to him. Goal. Goal, Reece James. Come on, baby. Reese's Pieces. I gotta get a kit. I gotta get a Reese kit. I gotta get a Reese kit. Give me a Reese kit. Keeping those prices. Come on. I was focused on Esteban with the cross, but it deflects out to Reece James and he buries it. Oh my goodness. And the announcer's talking about how it shouldn't be this scoreline. I don't care. I take wins. We're up 3-0. I know. I need to get the kit. That's a great corner in swinger from Esteba. Was that just Sells that deflected it out? Yeah, it doesn't get enough punches on it. Oh, Reese. Cheeky little goal just to bury that. I think it goes through the defender's legs, dude. So we have a Reece James goal through a defender's legs, and they have shots off the post. They just can't score at all. Too funny. But here's the difference between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. We've buried our chances. They haven't done shit with theirs. We've given them 1,000 chances, and they can't bury them. And so, yeah, you could probably argue they should have a couple goals, and this should be a closer game. But if you don't bury your chances, then you don't deserve to win the match. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I don't care how you played to get to those chances. You need to bury those chances. How many times have we seen from Chelsea over the last few years where they get a bunch of chances, can't bury them, and they lose or draw the match? That's how it goes. Yeah, rightfully so, and just not looking thrilled. Is he gonna get sacked? I wanna see them show Marinakis again, the owner. They're just showing the street they just pan the streets, and all the fans are leaving. Down in the dumps, these fans are. Absolutely down in the dumps because it's just shit after shit performance. Oh, Gusto, that's not a great challenge. That oh my god, they literally just had another red card. Oh my god, the red card streak continues. What more can you say about Chelsea than they just get red cards every game? And at this point, you have to say it's a discipline problem. That is such a stupid challenge from Malo Gusto. A clear yellow every single day of the week. And now you're sacrificing your team because you've been a hugely important player that's been in the lineup, and you're gonna miss the next Premier League match. Yes, another red. Yes, another red. Gusto, his second yellow. They can't stop getting reds. It's just in Chelsea's DNA at this point this season. Just red, 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 red. I'm seeing red, red, red. It would be proper Chelsea to get the former Spurs manager sacked. That's a fact. Jackal with another tremendous comment. But what's with all these reds from Chelsea? They can't stop getting red cards. Whether it's a second yellow, whether it's Maresca getting off for celebrating too hard, whether it's a straight red from Chalaba or Rob Sanchez. Another red card for this team. I don't even know what to say. You're up 3-0. I don't care at this point about the red card. It's laughable. Let's just get a red every match and see what happens. Can we get a red every match? It's absolutely insane that we just got another red card. And again, it doesn't matter that much at this point, but it's just like, why are you making such a stupid challenge? It just doesn't make sense. Like, there's no point to it. Estevao, yellow card for wasting time, puts the ball in the back of the net. I don't mind that. He probably doesn't have Maresca getting off. Yeah, I heard it when I said it. Don't get me wrong. I heard it when I said it. That's on me. It'd be better if you would have said pause, but understandable. 3-0 Chelsea are up against Forest. If you're watching, again, like the subs Maresca's made. Sounds like we're gonna get 5 extra minutes though here. Let's button this one up. That's great defending. Great defending from Reece James on Callum Hudson-Odoi. And Reece is gonna need to do more of that because with Gusto out now for the next match, I mean, what you hope Enzo's back by that point. You also have other options because, um, you still have Fofana, who just wasn't selected today, and Chalobah Acheampong can play right back. I wouldn't mind seeing Acheampong play right back if they feel like resting James next week against Sunderland. But we'll get to that here in the coming days, and we'll talk about and preview that. Forest do have a corner here, so we still wanna make sure things get to the end of the match with a win for Chelsea. He's offside for sure there. But yeah, we got 5 minutes of extra time here. I'll probably stay on for a little bit after the match just to talk about my thoughts in the immediate aftermath. Would love some comments, some thoughts on how Chelsea have played today. It's been an interesting match. Forest should have at least a couple of goals, but they don't. Chelsea have taken advantage of their chances here in the second half. We had a beautiful Achimpong goal off a Neto assist. We had a Neto free kick goal, kind of indirect because Reece took it first. And then we had a Reece James goal. 3 guys that are deserving of goals, and they scored. So that's been awesome to see. And what a great start of the day for the Always Bayern Chelsea crew. We do have Bayern playing here in about 3 hours against Dortmund. Good question, Jackal. Unfortunately, we will not be. Danny is away this weekend at a wedding. Um, Shout out to Ben. We're getting married. And yeah, I have a baby shower for my sister, so I'll probably be watching most of the Bayern Dortmund match, but I'm gonna be at my parents' house most likely for that one. So unfortunately, we'll not be doing a stream. I was hoping to just stream for a while, and in a perfect world, I would have been streaming from 6:30 all the way till 2 p.m. through the Bayern stream. That was originally my thought until I realized I had this baby shower, and hanging with some family. So, we'll do our best to just keep everybody informed of how things are going. Danny coming in here. We'll be watching the match and tweeting. Love to hear that. So we'll have some good tweets, have some good reactions, hopefully. Maybe we can get Danny to post a little short before the match previewing his official prediction. Would love to see that. Little green screen action. I know he's been loving that. Free kick for Forest here. Inadvertent handball from Gittins. But again, while we're talking about Gittins, um, he hasn't shown me much today. And I know you come into a match where there's no goals, but I need to see more from Gittins, and he has hardly had the ball. It's been a weird second half, I guess. Chelsea, it seems like they haven't had a ton of great possession, but it's a stake, a place in this team. He's gotta provide more, whether it's a goal or an assist. And by the way, Tosin did come on for Acheampong. Never really mentioned that. Free header for Forest. Milinkovic. It just does nothing with it. I just don't he's probably off, but I don't get this Forest team. The chances they're getting, they do nothing with. Chelsea are trying to give them chances. Big ups to Jackal. Shout out to you, man. 2 great leagues to follow. Are you a Chelsea fan? It seems like you are. You know a lot about Chelsea, but, you say you're a follower of the Premier League. Are you actually a Chelsea fan, Jackal, or are you just a Premier League guy? Would love to hear. Do you have a team in the Bundesliga as well? We try to talk about the leagues in general at times too. You know, Danny talks about the Bundesliga a lot. So, yeah, Jackal might be the number one fan of this pod right now. Certainly has been creating a lot of great comments today. So appreciate you for that, Jackal. But let me know. Seems like you're a Chelsea fan, but if you can confirm that, that'd be great. And also let me know what team you support in the Bundesliga. 2 exciting leagues. Kind of some dull games this weekend in the Premier League. I'm in a league where I make picks every week, 3 picks, and it was tough because you have a lot of these bottom of the table teams that are going against each other this week. So that makes it tough for picks because you don't exactly know if these lower league teams can beat each other. Then there's the final whistle. Let's go. What a win for Chelsea. Come on. And are you going to be out? Shaking the hand of Willie Caballero. Are there boos? I don't hear a lot of boos, but it could be because so many fans left. Their fans have gotta be so triggered. Reece James, big smile on his face. Up the Chelsea. Chelsea fan, don't have a club. Okay, fair. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Again, I appreciate you commenting on here today because we've had a great stream. It's been an awesome stream. Up the Chelsea, though. Definitely up the Chelsea. Chelsea get the 3 points that they needed. What a win for Chelsea today. My brief thoughts here. Chelsea get the 3 points. They beat Nottingham Forest 3-0, and it was an interesting match because the first 15 minutes, first 20 minutes, Chelsea gave the ball away directly to Forest about 4 times, and Forest need to put away those chances. They just have to. Um, they don't. Chelsea are able to scrape by, get lucky with that, and take advantage. That's the sport of football sometimes. That will happen. But it's gotta be frustrating for Forest because you feel like you put yourself in a position and Chelsea are giving you the ball and you don't score. And then the second half starts and Chelsea bury 2 of their chances right away. They get a free header, kind of loosely off a set piece. Adrian Neto finds Josh Acheampong. And then right after that, Neto scores off a free kick. And the subs did make a difference for Chelsea on this day. I think when Guiu came in, it opened things up for João Pedro in the attack. That's what led to the free kick. I think there was some great play there. But the second half was weird because after that point, Forest still had some more chances. They end the day with 4 big chances, 2.12 XG, and they don't score any goals. Chelsea had 1.66 XG and end up scoring 3 goals. So that's the sport of football at times. Things will happen like that. So, I'm taking 3 points all day. It ends up being a dominant scoreline victory, 3-0. Could you say it was dominant overall on the day? Probably not, especially when you look at XG, but Chelsea still did put up 17 shots, 4 big chances. Again, Reece James gets that 3rd goal later in the match, 84th minute, and that was huge. That was huge, and they're applauding the away fans right now, man. The smiles on their faces. Reece James goal season, it's beautiful, and I bet the Cucurella would score. Maybe I should have done Reece James. Would have been nice. Will Ange be out? That's the question. Will Ange be out after this match? We're gonna see. I think my man of the match, though, is tough. My man of the match. I think it's gonna be Reece James for all he does for this team, playing right back, playing midfield. He scores a goal, gets an assist on that Neto goal. Neto's right up there as well, but all that Reece James does for this team is just so huge. It's so awesome. I love seeing it. So shout out to Reece James. He's my man of the match. I think he deserves it. He deserves to be man of the match. I liked what I saw from Neto. I think Pedro, João Pedro, the 2 Pedros had great games. I think Santos had a good first half. I think the back line had a tough start, but a strong finish. Josh Echimpong was my best defender. What he provides with ball carrying, I think he's been strong against these big strikers as well. He went up against Chris Wood, against Owani. These are not easy guys to go against. So shout out to him. He gets his first Chelsea goal as well. And again, I think some subs were solid. Guiu ends up with a poor stat line, but I think what he provided there for João Pedro was huge in the second half for Chelsea. Caicedo coming on, shoring up the midfield from a defensive perspective was awesome as well. And yeah, just loved everything I saw from the Chelsea squad. Yeah, just absolutely awesome. Um, Huge to get a win coming off the international break. It's just so big to pile up these wins now, build some momentum if you're Chelsea. It's so cool. And yeah, you just love seeing that. So I think it's now time. I'm going to post a short and I'm going to do this live here on the stream. This is how we're going to end the stream. Live Chelsea reaction while on the stream. You can't get any better fourth wall than this while on stream, reacting to the 3-0 Chelsea win over Nottingham Forest. A wild match. Forest should have scored a couple. Chelsea end up with the huge victory, though. Reece James gets a goal. Josh Echimpong gets a goal. Pedro Neto gets a goal. Chelsea's back. Chelsea are back. Off the international break. What a huge performance, man. And I was streaming this match. A beautiful thing. We had some beautiful comments. We had some beautiful people in the stream. Jackal in the stream. Again, a tough result for Forest. They should have scored, but Chelsea take advantage. Teams that take advantage of their opportunities usually end up on top, and that's exactly what Chelsea did today. So I'm not going to feel bad about it. Up the freaking Chelsea. What a day. What an absolute day. And Danny wants to join. Danny wants to join. I'm going to have to send him a link, but we will get Danny in here. We will absolutely get Danny in here. I don't know if I need to send him a link. I think he might just be able to join. Let me know, Danny, if you need a link or if you can just join. But yeah, we'll try to get Danny here in the stream. Yeah, keep the blue flag flying high. Yes, Danny, we want you to join. We, of course, want you to join. I think I need to send him a link, though. How do I get a link? Oh, no, he did join. There he is. There he is. But can we get this working here? There we go. Nice. There we
Is my
go.
audio on?
I can hear you. It's coming through my computer. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up. Hopefully it sounds fine.
All right. If anybody can hear
Yeah,
us
we can hear
right
you.
here. Okay, cool. Let us sound off in the comments because here we are.
Yeah. What up? What up,
Um,
my guy?
Amazing win for Chelsea today. 3-0. Great way to start. Back from the international break. Another red card. What are you going to do? It's going to happen every week, I guess. But the 3 points is huge.
Absolutely huge. I mean, as I've been talking about here, Forest really should have had a couple goals. Let's be honest. I don't know if you saw the first 20 minutes, but it literally was insane. Chelsea were giving the ball directly to Forest, and the stat I read in the first half was they had the most errors leading to an opposition shot of any match in the Premier League this season, and it all happened in the first 20 minutes.
No, I didn't see the first 20 minutes. To be honest, I was still snoozing. But I caught most of the second. Actually, I think all the second half, which was like when the action happened. So, yeah, I was looking at the stats and I did see all these like good chances and like XG and stuff for Forest, and I was like, where is that coming from?
Yeah, and Forest end up with the ball today, which is insane considering the final scoreline. You end 3-0, and if you're a Forest fan, you're left thinking, what is this team possibly doing going forward? Do you sack Ange? Do you keep him? You could argue Ange put together a good plan on the day when you're getting that much XG and putting yourself in a good spot. So who knows? I mean, it's not my team, so do I really care what they do? No. If it's a mess, that's only better for Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like you can't really blame it on Ange, I don't think. But you know, what are you gonna do? Wait around to go 0 for 10? You know, what is he 0 for 8 now? I mean,
and that is the crazy thing. Like, it's just all losses.
Yeah, not even any draws, right?
Yeah, it's insane. You could argue it's one of the worst starts to a managerial endeavor that anybody's ever had. It has to be.
It's unbelievable, and it sucks because like I think he's a good manager for the right team. I guess I think he's at least a good tournament manager. I mean his record shows that. So yeah, like who do you bring in if you're Forrest and you sack him? And then also like where does Ange go? I honestly have no idea at this point.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. But, back to Chelsea for a minute here. It's just great to see 3 goals in a half. They needed it. You get a Neto goal, a Josh goal, a Reece goal. I mean, it couldn't happen to 3 better guys. Let's be honest. We love all these 3 players. And, man, just seeing the smiling players after the game, just absolutely huge. Man, I know you love that Reece James goal.
Got to. Reece is my Chelsea boy, and you got to get a kit now that it has your name on it.
I do have to get a kid, I know, and that's on me. But these prices in this world are just outrageous, man.
I know. I'm holding off on the Bayern kits because the tariffs from Germany right now are like an extra $60, which is insane.
Tell you what, tariffs are not likable, but I do agree. Ange is pretty likable. That's a good call by Jackal, again with a great comment. Jackal's been on point all day. Ange, yeah, he is likable. Like, if I was a fan of a team that had Ange, I would appreciate his candor and the way he kind of is aggressive at times with his teams and his high line. But ultimately, if you're not winning games, it doesn't matter whether you're likable or not. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it needs to be, I think, for the right team, the right players. But yeah, shout out to Chelsea because awesome win today. Awesome
Reece
win.
James, El Capitan. Yeah, awesome win for Chelsea. Real quick here, while I got you on, what are your thoughts on the match in just less than 3 hours? Der Klassiker, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund. What a huge match.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw a stat that they're the only two unbeaten teams left in Europe. I mean, obviously Bayern hasn't lost. Dortmund, or drawn. Dortmund has drawn twice, I think, because they drew to St. Pauli match week one. They drew to Juventus in the Champions League. I think the rest of their matches are wins. So both teams in great form. But I don't think Dortmund's going to be able to hold this Bayern Munich attack. I'm going 3-1. That's my official prediction. Bayern wins. Bayern just looks unstoppable right now. They're a buzzsaw, and like, why would I bet against them at the moment? They haven't shown me a reason to bet against them right now.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I forget what my prediction was, to be honest. Might have been 4-1.
I
I
think
don't
yours was
recall.
3-1 as well.
Was it 3-1 as well? Okay, yeah. So 4-1 might have been my Club Bruges prediction for next week. But
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah, I think Bayern are going to smash Dortmund. 3-1 is kind of a smashing, especially against a top team like Dortmund. I just think the form in the attack is different. They are a different animal right now. I declared them the current best team in the world based on current form. I don't think anybody in the Bundesliga has a chance at stopping them right now in this moment. Really, not even a lot of teams in Champions League could stop them. So, going to be huge. I think Kane gets at least one goal, maybe even two. And as I've said, I need this Bayern win. I need it like I need the air to breathe. Got some money on the line. Need Bayern to win. Need my Green Bay Packers to win tomorrow as well. But let's start in the right direction with a Bayern win today, and it'll be huge. It'll be absolutely huge.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean, Kane versus Garassi, that is an awesome battle. Garassi, I think, if he keeps up his form, he could be one of the best strikers in the world as well. But yeah, I mean, Kane has just been like inevitable this year. He's going to score every match, most of the time, multiple goals. So hopefully he can keep that up today. He was out for the first match for England in the international break, but came back, played 90 minutes. The most recent one scored 2 goals. So let's knock on wood and hope that he's still in form and just ready to go. Because, yeah, I mean, it's like, I do think Dortmund's a good team, and we put out a preview show earlier this week, so check that out if you want like more of a breakdown. Dortmund has a lot of good players. I think Niko Kovac is a good coach, a little bit more like maybe pragmatic or defensive than like a company, for example. But I think it's going to be a good matchup, and yeah, I do think Bayern's going to win. I have full confidence in this team right now. Like you, I think they're playing like one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. Really, the only other team that I can think is like PSG. I think PSG is really good. They just drew to Strasbourg, so I don't know. It might be Bayern alone at the top, but Bayern's going to be going through a really tough stretch right now. They have to play Dortmund. They'll have PSG. They'll have Arsenal. So I think we'll figure out a little bit more clearly who exactly they are after this stretch.
Yeah, definitely true on that point. I do want to just add, because we are always Bayern Chelsea pod, you do have Carney Chukwuemeka playing for Dortmund. I think
Yep.
he's in form and fit. We'll see if he gets some time. He usually comes off the bench. It'll be interesting to watch how he does, if he does get some time. I think he's had some good moments for Dortmund. So,
He has,
yeah,
yeah.
let's see that.
Yeah, he's been solid for Dortmund. I would expect him to get some time today, I think. So we'll look out for him.
Well, keep watching for that. Definitely tune into that match later if you're a fan of our podcast here. We will not be live streaming at that point, but we will be watching, tweeting, reacting, all the above. Thanks to anybody that's still in the stream at this point. We got a couple of you. Jackal, if you're still here, shout out to you. Big, big, big up to you
Huge
for
up.
commenting all day.
Yeah, thanks for the support. We will be, of course, not live, but we'll be posting videos on YouTube. We'll be tweeting basically live. So, of course, stay tuned for the big Dark Classic R. Unfortunately, out of pocket at a wedding, but it's got to be done.
It does have to be done. Shout out to Love and shout out to the beautiful game.
Shout out
Thanks,
to Ben
everyone.
Borzak.